There are many computer applications you can use to create digital art. In this lesson, you will use Google Sheets to turn a spreadsheet into art. Sometimes it's useful to highlight specific information or data in a spreadsheet so that it stands out. Conditional formatting uses colors and shading to highlight data if it meets certain conditions or rules. In this lesson, you will use conditional formatting to assign colors to different numbers or values. Then, you'll type those numbers into your spreadsheet to color each cell and create a complete image. Each cell in your spreadsheet will make a single dot in your artwork. This dot is called a pixel. Every digital image is made up of many pixels. By color-coding the data in your spreadsheet, cells appear as pixels shaded with the palette of color used in your artwork. As you build your spreadsheet art, you will create and name a new spreadsheet, set a custom cell size, search for an image to inspire your artwork, add conditional formatting rules to assign colors in your spreadsheet, and use data to create a work of art. Although this lesson uses Google Sheets, you could apply these skills and concepts in any spreadsheet application to create your art. In this video, you'll turn your spreadsheet into a grid. You will use this grid as the foundation for your art. Then, you'll search for an image outline to inspire your art. Spreadsheets are made up of many small rectangles called cells. Those cells are set up in a grid of rows and columns. Digital images are also created on a grid of many small squares or pixels. In your spreadsheet, each cell will represent a pixel. First, select all of the cells in the sheet. Then, resize the column width of any column to begin making your cells square-shaped. Resize the cell height too, if necessary. When your spreadsheet is a grid of approximately square-shaped cells, click on any cells to exit the Select All tool. Now that you set up your spreadsheet grid, search for an image to work off of. Open a new browser tab and search for Spreadsheet Pixel Art. You will choose an image as the inspiration for your art, but your art doesn't have to be exactly a copy of your inspiration image. If you like, use additional terms to search for a specific type of image. You might search for the pixel art of an animal you like or your favorite shape. You can also filter your results to find clip art. This can help you find simple images that work well for pixel art. Choose a simple image with less than 6 colors and make sure it is school appropriate. View the image in preview mode. And open the image in a new browser tab. This way, you can look at your sample image for guidance. Now, it's your turn. Resize all cells in your spreadsheet to form a grid. Search for spreadsheet pixel art, customize your search and filter your results if needed, and open your selected image in a new browser tab. In this video, you'll use conditional formatting to add color to your project. Conditional formatting changes how cells appear when values meet specific conditions. A value is a number or text entered into a cell. Conditions are rules that determine what values are formatted and when. Conditional formatting applies formatting to values that meet specific conditions or rules. For example, you might set the condition that if a cell contains the value 1, the cell is formatted to turn blue. But if the cell contains the value 2, it turns pink. To get started, add a conditional formatting rule. Begin by selecting all the cells in your spreadsheet. Then, open conditional formatting. Check the range, which determines which cells a rule will apply to. A is the first column, and 1 is the first row of the range. Z is the last column, and 1000 is the last row of the range. There are many rules you can use to format cells. Some apply to a specific value, while others include more than one value. Some common rules apply formatting to a cell when that cell value is equal to, greater than, or less than a set value, although there are endless possibilities. For this project, select is equal to. Enter a number and select the fill color for that value. Then, test the rule in your sheet by typing the number into several cells. Great! Your first color is ready to use. Next, repeat the process to add more conditional formatting rules for all the colors from your image. Choose your own colors or use colors from your sample image. You can easily change your palette later if you change your mind. Each rule you create adds a single new color. So if you set 5 rules for 5 numbers, you'll have 5 colors. When you have added a rule for every color in your image, test your rules by entering numbers directly in the cells. Check that the cells change to appropriate colors when you enter your values. Now it's your turn. Select all cells in your spreadsheet. Create a conditional formatting rule for each color in your image, and check your conditional formatting rules by adding numbers to cells. In this video, you'll add numbers and colors to your spreadsheet to complete your pixel art project. To start, open the conditional formatting rules to see the values associated with each color. Use your rules as a key to remember which number corresponds with which color. Refer to your sample image to help you create your pixel art. Start with blank canvas. Delete any values that you entered previously. Now, enter values to create your pixel art on your spreadsheet. Add colors cell by cell. Or click and drag a cell handle to copy the value to multiple cells. Continue adding values until your image is complete. If you find that you need additional colors, you can simply add another conditional formatting rule. When you have completed your image, add a background color to make the image stand out. To do this, add another conditional formatting rule that only applies to a range of cells. In this case, the empty cells around your image. Select the range of cells. Add a new rule that changes the color if a cell is empty. Then select the background color. Now, it's your turn. Open the conditional formatting rules to see your color values. Add values to color cells in your spreadsheet. Complete your image. Select a custom range for your background, and add a new rule to set a background color. In this video, you'll revise your conditional formatting rules to make the numbers in your image invisible. You'll also remove the grid line from your art to make it look complete. Currently, the numeric values are still visible in the cells of your project. To hide these values, change the conditional formatting rules and color settings. Select the entire image. Then, open conditional formatting. Select your first row and match the text color with the fill color. Be sure to match them exactly. Matching the text and fill colors hides the numbers in your image. The values are still there, but all you see is your pixel art. Now, match the text and fill colors for the rest of your rules. Then, remove the grid lines. This enables you to see your image even more clearly and creates a more uniform image. Now it's your turn. Revise the conditional formatting rules to match text colors to fill colors, and remove the grid lines from your spreadsheet. In this lesson, you set conditional formatting rules to assign color to values and create a work of spreadsheet art. To complete this lesson, you created a spreadsheet and gave it a title. Searched for an image to guide your artwork. Created a grid in your spreadsheet. Added conditional formatting rules to assign a color to each number in your spreadsheet. Created a piece of art by entering those numbers into your spreadsheet. Added a background color. And hid the numbers in your image and remove the grid lines from your spreadsheet. During this project, you learned how to work in a spreadsheet and set conditional formatting rules. Conditional formatting is practical for organizing all kinds of data. For example, you can set conditional formatting rules in a to-do list for a school, or create a list of colleges to compare their locations. You can use practical digital tools for creative projects too, like making sticky note murals with each sticky note representing a pixel, or create other craft projects. Whether it's pixel art or a spreadsheet for school or work, use conditional formatting in Google Sheets to make your data more colorful and easier to use. In this extension, you will remove extra rows and columns from your spreadsheet to frame your image. First, turn on grid lines to see your cells. Then, delete extra rows to give your art a frame. You can delete rows one by one, though manually deleting rows is time-consuming and requires a lot of effort if you're deleting many rows. It's more efficient to delete a large number of rows at once. To delete all the rows beneath your image and remove remaining empty space, select the first row you want to delete. Then select all the rows through the final row in your sheet. And delete all the empty rows beneath your image. Now, delete extra columns to eliminate any empty space on the sides of your image. And turn off grid lines. Now, it's your turn. Turn on grid lines, remove extra rows beneath your image, remove extra columns from the sides of your image, and turn off grid lines. In this extension, you'll resize your columns and rows to create an exact grid with perfectly square cells. This will help your final image appear more uniform. First, make your grid lines visible so you can see the outline of all your pixels. You can use row height. And column width to change the dimensions of the cells in your image. But to be more exact, you can set the row and column size. First, select and resize the rows. Enter a pixel dimension for the height of your rows. Then select your columns and resize the column width. Set the same pixel dimension for your column width that you set for your row height to ensure the cells are even, exact squares. Finally, hide the grid lines to see your updated image with perfectly square cells. You can resize rows and columns for creative effect too. For instance, you might make the row height pixel dimension bigger to stretch your image vertically. Or make the column width dimension bigger to stretch your image horizontally. You might try out different row heights and column width to see how your image displays. Now it's your turn. Turn on grid lines, resize row heights, resize column width, and turn off grid lines. In this video, you and a classmate will exchange projects. Then, you'll make a copy of your partner's project and customize the colors. First, find a partner or ask your teacher to assign you one. Share your projects with one another using your email addresses. Select the permission you want to use. Editor means the person you share with can make changes directly in your presentation. Commenter allows them to make comments but not change the presentation. And viewer lets them see your presentation only. Choose viewer so your partner can copy your project without changing it directly. Write a note to your partner to explain what you're sending them. Next, open the project your partner shared with you. To preserve your partner's original image, duplicate the sheet and rename it, adding your name to the new title. Customize the project to make it your own by changing the colors. First, open conditional formatting. Then, select and change the fill and text colors for each rule to personalize the image to your taste. Change the background color as well. When you're finished, compare the two images. You might have a good laugh. Now it's your turn. Choose a partner and share your projects with one another. Duplicate their sheets and rename the new copy. And change conditional formatting rules for each color to customize your partner's image. In this extension, you'll add custom colors to your conditional formatting rules to create a unique version of your project. To begin, make a copy of your project and rename it. Next, open conditional formatting and select a color and a rule to change. Select the custom fill color palette and find a base color. Then, customize the color even more using the palette. Now, match the text color with your custom fill color to hide the values in your image. Your custom color is automatically saved in the custom color palette for easy access. Nice work! You just added a new color by selecting from the custom color palette. Now, choose a different conditional formatting rule to change and set another custom color, but this time using a hex color code. A hex color code is a 6-digit code that identifies a specific color. Every color has its own code. A color hex code starts with a £sign or hashtag and it's followed by 6 letters or numbers. These 6 letters and numbers can be broken into 3 pairs that represent a specific combination of red, yellow, and blue. Hex codes are commonly used by designers and graphic artists to select exact colors. Artwork and logos for sports teams, colleges, and companies also use unique hex color codes. Open a new browser tab and search the internet to find a custom color and its hex code. When you find a color you like, copy its hex code. Then, paste the hex code into the custom color selector. Finally, match your text and fill colors. And save your conditional formatting rule. Custom colors lets you find unique colors to use in any project. There are endless possibilities, so keep exploring and find the best custom colors for your artwork. Now it's your turn. Make a copy of your project and rename it. Open conditional formatting and select a rule. Select a custom color for the fill color and text color. Select another rule and search the internet for a color hex code. And copy and paste the hex code to change the fill color and text color.